really what we had, love is perfected, and then we have nothing to fear. That's what we had. And but when I judge those around me and I keep a record of wrongs, and then do what's written there in Corinthians 13, that he does not keep a record of wrongs. Then, but then if it's like that, then the love becomes cold. If I keep a record of wrongs and I'm puffed up, then I cannot say I love, because I want to be above others. I think that I don't seek my own, like it's written there. And that loves, gives, always gives. I think if I can remain in that, and that is true and genuine love. And that is a love that Paul was in when he said, none of these things move me. I think then they said to him, no, you're going to experience sufferings there in Jerusalem or where he had planned to go. But then he was in that perfect love. None of these things move me, because he was faithful to God's workings in his heart. And therefore nothing else could move him. He could only be moved by God. And there he was led. Like we had when you were young, you could go wherever you want. But now you are older. Another one takes your hands and binds you and takes you wherever you do not plan to go. And to really walk in the Spirit, that I don't do my will and I do God's will. So I'm thankful to God for this high and holy calling. And Jesus asked, will I find this faith? Will the Son of Man find this faith when he comes back to earth? And to really be in that faith, the spirit of faith, that gives us grace and power to die to myself, die to my own will. And therefore I am raised in this newness of life. And then it's perfect love that we heard of. So praise be to God for this calling that we have. I also thought of this young man in Luke 15, in verse 17. And it says here, but when he came to himself, that is a need that I come to myself. Otherwise I walk in darkness, I don't have light, and I do my own will, and sin blinds me. Then I don't come to myself. I don't come to see my true state, that I acknowledge myself. I acknowledge the truth about myself, that I'm not as holy as I think I am. I'm not as loving as I think I am. There's still something in me that needs to be put to death. So it's written here further on. It says, but when he came to himself, he said, how many of my father's hired servants have bread enough and to spare, and I perish with hunger? I will arise and go to my father, and will say to him, Father, I've sinned against heaven and before you, and that I see my own wretchedness. And Paul came to that state, that he came to see himself. He came to himself, and then he said, oh, wretched man that I am, that I see this love is not as perfect as it should be. I'm still irritated by one thing and another. I still judge the others, that love is not perfect. When I come to myself, then I get light over my own stupidity. Otherwise, I labor under the law, and then one is lukewarm. I think we are called to be hot, to be zealous, and then zeal for your house, and that zeal shall consume me. That I'm consumed by that zeal, that I see myself, and I come to myself, and then I come to that anger against my own nature. The zeal consumes me. Then I hate what I see in myself. And then I'm being prepared for his coming we had. Then God is doing his work, and he has this clay in his hands that can be moved and molded. And then all these hard things are removed, and then he remakes and remodels me into his image. And then I'm submitted to him. Then I come to myself. I thought of that word. Come to myself. And David also was in that same spirit. And that he also came to himself when it was revealed to him that you are wicked. You had devised these evil plans and had caused another man's death. Then it's written there, then the prophet said, you are the man. I think that God can say that to me. You are the man. It's you. It's not the others. And there I can acknowledge, yes, I am. And he acknowledged his sin. And he could see himself. He came to himself. And Brother Tielman has said many times, if I can present it to God and say, Lord, this is how it is with me. I'm irritated. This is my nature. It's a sin in me that I hate. And I can present it to him. He can show me how wretched I am. And then I can receive grace, and I can put it on the altar. And there the fire of God can come. I thank God for this message that we had. I really want to run like we normally say, like never before, as if I'm the only one who's going to receive this. But may we all run this race with great zeal and more speed.